Okay, just want to give you a summary of last night's city council meeting. Excuse me, I have a little head cold, but it was a good meeting. It basically focused, the main focus of the meeting was the controversial ordinance. They may amend it, but they did exclude certain parts of it where if a fire department is called and is at the scene of the accident and they have to use, let's say, the jaws of life to get you out of your vehicle, if God forbid you get into one, then they'll go after your insurance for that bill to cover that expense. I could be wrong, but that's what I pretty much gathered from that. But it still applies to accidents and so that sort of thing. I got up and asked a question in regards to uninsured drivers, and that's a problem in Passaic and a problem across the United States, but mainly Passaic because there's a lot of groups of people that are uninsured. I understand the economy is whack, nobody has jobs, nobody has the money, but if you can't afford to pay your insurance or even properly register your vehicle, you should not be driving, period, and causing problems for others that have took the time and busted their behinds to get insurance and registration on their vehicle so that they have their paperwork and affairs in order. So I got up and asked a question to the council, mainly in regards to that ordinance. What were they going to do with the uninsured drivers? And their response was, well, they're going to go to jail. So I kind of laughed and chuckled at the councilman, and I do apologize to Councilman, the president of the City Council of Passaic, for that response, and I apologize for that. But I just find it amazing that yes, they will go to jail, but yet the person that I was involved over the summer of 2011 is still at large. I have the name, I have the address, their supposed address at the time that they were caught, and I want that person arrested too, and also pay me for my deductible, my $500 deductible. But that's a whole side issue. And there was another question I posed, was the garbage, in particular with recycling of electronic equipment. People just put their computers and TVs out on the curb. It used to be a time they would collect them, but they don't anymore. The regular garbage people. So if those that are in Passaic and listening to this YouTube video presentation, you have to call the city of Passaic and they'll come and remove it for you. There's some place up in Wayne, up Route 23, that you could take it up there, but I don't know exactly. If I knew, I could probably, take some stuff up there myself, or go around collecting for my neighbors that are, getting rid of their old TVs and computers, and maybe salvage some parts from it to either fix up another computer or try to refurbish it and put a low budget OS on it and try to resell it, make some money off of it. But overall, it was quite an interesting meeting, but I was kind of disappointed by the turnout of people. I'd expected, because this was a controversial issue, a lot of folks to show up and either had to work or they forgot or they just don't care. I expect the place to be packed, but you had plenty of seats and plenty of rooms, so it was all right turnout. But I still say more needed to be represented in City Hall. And they have the couple of people that get up there and they say shame on you and this and that to the council, which is kind of entertaining, but at the same time they do have a point and they do have a right to speak. It is America. They have a freedom of speech, and that's guaranteed. So it's their prerogative. And there was another issue that one presenter brought up, and that's voting. Yet many people are saying shame on you, shame on this, shame on that. But if folks don't get out and vote, or you do vote, you vote for the other person, you're actually giving that person you don't want in office that vote. So they get a double clutching, or double chances. But as a famous comedian once said, and I'll say his name was Dick Gregory, we don't elect people, we only select them. And that makes sense, because when you go in that voting booth, you don't elect anybody. You make a selection of candidates that you want to pick to represent your issues. So you pick a group of folks, or a sample out of a list, and then based on the number of votes that are counted, a committee, or in the case of the presidency, the Electoral College, elects them based on the number of votes. I could be wrong with that definition, but that's how I interpret it to be. We don't elect anyone as a people. We only select and appoint people. We don't officially elect them. Just want to bring that up. And the education system in the city, I can't really speak on it, because I wasn't brought up in the public school system in Passaic. I went private school all my life up until I went to college. Even when I was in college, I had private education, i.e. parochial or Catholic schools. So the whole educational career was based on parochial or Catholic school education. But something does need to be done about it, and people just need to be held accountable that are teaching our children and preparing them for the future, and subsequently the workforce. They need to be prepared, and the same thing goes with the Catholic schools, because I find out a lot of them are not prepared. None of us are really prepared when we leave school. We only given the curriculum that's mandated by the state. And so you as a student, also the school that you attend, and the educators and administrators that are supposed to provide you with the proper education only prepare you for their curriculum mandated by the state. You get your experience on the job when you graduate. I know a lot of people are looking for work, and especially recent college grads, excuse me, and many of them don't have experience. The same thing with me when I came out. I didn't have much experience. Well, I had to find something that I was good at and that was worth my time and effort, and just put it to use. And over time you build your experience and your years, and then you get smart, and hopefully one day you get to retire or do something else. Overall, the meeting was good. It covered a wide area of discussion, but I think more should have came out to the city council to express their opinion about the ordinance, because it not only does it affect the owners of the property or people that have car insurance, but also renters too. If the landlord has to raise his rent to cover the added cost of insuring his property or his or her property, well, guess what? You're going to have to pay more on your monthly rent. It all comes down, it all trickles down back to the individual that has to live and work and survive in Passaic. But this is not a Passaic problem. This is a problem all over the United States as the economy continues to go south of the border, or basically declines, and people are in more austere measures, just trying to make it. And that's pretty much it on this video. Please rate and comment, subscribe, and if you have any other topics you want me to talk about, let me know. But I'm going to stick to my computers, electronics, and that's mostly my expertise. This politics thing, I'll talk about it, but it gets to be tricky and somewhat a touchy subject for many who don't agree with one another's politics and procedures or ideas. So teach his own. Alright, peace out. Take care.